Part 7, The Mind Cure Movement. Any individual can tap into an eternal reservoir of power that will enable them to overcome any problem that may arise. All weaknesses can be overcome: bodily healing, financial independence, spiritual awakening, and prosperity beyond your wildest dreams. This is the superstructure of happiness. William James. By the end of the 18th century, the Mind Cure movement gained a secular ally in no less than William James, the father of American psychology. James defended the Mind Cure on pragmatic terms. He had seen it work for some people. Therefore, there must be something to it. While James did accept some of the main principles of the Mind Cure, he also expresses some bemusement when he noted that the Mind Cure movement had no provision with dealing with the question of evil. In one lecture, James name-checks Christian Science's Mary Baker Eddy, saying, "For her, evil is simply a lie, and anyone who mentions it is a liar." The optimistic ideal of duty forbids us to pay it the compliment even of explicit attention. Of course, as our next lectures will show us, this is a bad speculative omission, but it is intimately linked with the practical merits of the system we are examining. Why regret a philosophy of evil, a mind curer would ask us, if I can put you in possession of a life of good? Why focus on the negative aspects of the world when you can have abundance? It's still being asked by the proponents of the law of attraction today. James went on to say that the greatest discovery of the 19th century would not be in the realm of physical science, but in the power of the subconscious, touched by faith. William Walker Atkinson. William Walker Atkinson was a successful lawyer from Baltimore before becoming involved in the New Thought movement. He became editor of New Thought magazine and later published many articles on various topics on the occult, theosophy, and metaphysical healing under his own name and under a list of pseudonyms. Atkinson was a prolific author, but his most popular book was printed in 1906 and is still in print today, Thought Vibration, or the Law of Attraction in the Thought World. Echoing Blavatsky, he says, "We speak learnedly of the law of gravitation, but ignore that equally wonderful manifestation, the law of attraction in the thought world. We are familiar with that wonderful manifestation of law that draws and holds together the atoms of which matter is composed. But we close our eyes to the mighty law that draws us the things we desire or fear and makes or mars our lives." The law of attraction is thus explained as a magnetic force where like attracts like as a universal law. The idea with the law of attraction is to consciously draw to yourself prosperity and wealth, since that is what God apparently wants you to do. Prosperity and good health is considered an indication of one's self-realization and spiritual growth. Manifesting a positive outcome for yourself through using your mind and feelings is the secret to make all your dreams come true. Wallace Wattles. Wallace Wattles wrote the now famous book, The Science of Getting Rich, first published in 1910 and has remained in print to this day. Positive thinking techniques, willpower, creative visualization, and the mental science approach to health was applied by Wattles to give readers the key to attracting wealth. Wattles wrote that man's mental development is contingent on having the means necessary to ensure living an enjoyable and successful life. That means access to money. Thus, man has a right to be wealthy according to Wattles. Anything less is a sin. Wattles wrote that the first principle in producing tangible riches is recognizing the power of thought, and that a substance, the stuff where all things are made, is given form and structure by our thoughts. This idea recalls similar notions of the cosmology of the classical Greek philosophers like Anaxagoras 2,600 years ago, who saw the universe as a mind creating through substance. The consciousness of prosperity. Andrew Carnegie had long amassed his great wealth and was one of the richest men in the world when he met little-known journalist Napoleon Hill in 1908. Hill's assignment was to write a series of articles on the most successful businessmen of the time. According to Hill, Carnegie said he used a simple formula that was available to all, and commissioned Hill to interview 500 successful people in the world to acquire practical evidence on what Hill later called the secret of wealth creation. Like Carnegie, Hill was born into poverty and struggled to survive in the world. 20 years later, Hill would publish the results of his research, which he called the philosophy of achievement, in his book, The Law of Success. 11 years later, a smaller version of The Law of Success was published as Think and Grow Rich. The central premise of Think and Grow Rich is, everything your mind can conceive, you can achieve. While Hill does not explicitly use terms like law of attraction or thought vibration, he does supply the points that are part of the law of attraction discourse, that thoughts determine your reality, the use of creative visualization, maintaining a positive attitude, and surrounding yourself with positive people. Hill's book made him wealthy, selling millions upon millions of copies, while setting the standard in the field of self-improvement through prosperity consciousness. Coming up next, Cosmic Fire and Universal Substance.